All right, hello and welcome. Today I'm responding to an email I received, and I feel like it really resonates with a lot of us. The person that emailed me, they homeschool, and their husband also works from home. So basically, everyone's home all throughout the day. With that being said, she's running into some challenges, so I'm going to be reading the email, and then I'll go through some of the advice that I have for her. And if you notice anything crazy in the background, I'm at my parents' house right now, and I have no idea nor control over them whatsoever. So just ignore that. Here's the letter. All right. Hello. I live a clean, organized home, but just can't get it to stay there. We recently moved into a home twice the size of our previous home, and I can't stay on top of it. I try to clean like I did in our old house, but that just won't cut it in this one. See my dilemma? I seem to only be able to really keep the kitchen clean, but then the other rooms go by the wayside. My husband works from home and I homeschool, so we are home 24/7. And you would think that would mean I can keep the house clean. By the time our school day is over, cleaning is the absolute last thing on my mind. Weekends just go by too quickly with sports and family things. I'm a perfectionist and organizer at heart, but can't seem to get past the I'm so overwhelmed and just don't know where to start, so I don't phase. This is just where I am right now. Thanks, her name. So, with that being said, I've got some advice for our friend here. And like I said, if you work from home, then I'm sure you can definitely identify with some of this, even if not all of it, right? So, here we go. So, number one, um, let me go back to this. So she says that we recently moved into a home twice the size of our previous home, and I can't stay on top of it. And she says that I tried to clean it like I did my previous home. So that first bit right there is where I'm going to lead into the first tip, which is managing your expectations. Okay. I definitely talk a lot about um, just having realistic expectations based on the current season of life that you're in. And that includes, in her case, you're in a house that's twice as big as your previous house. So for you to think that you can do the same things there that you're doing here, obviously, it's not going to work, right? So with that being said, we need a new game plan. That's all that means. Now, something that comes to me top of mind that you can easily do is just spread the cleaning out. All right. So with that being said, if you were to, let's say your previous home was 3,000 or excuse me, 2,000 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and you could take 30 minutes a day every day to clean it. So by the end of what, 5 days, 6 days, the entire house would have been clean, right? 30 minutes a day. So 30 minutes for the bathrooms, 30 minutes to deep clean kitchens, 30 minutes to dust, 30 minutes for floors, and the last day, I don't know, 30 minutes for high dusting or whatever, right? With that being said, now that you're in a larger home, you may be able to take that same 30 minutes a day, but instead of being able to work through everything in 1 week, it may take you 2 weeks to get through everything, right? And that's not a big deal whatsoever. And how often things are clean are up to you, right? It's all about your preferences. But as a cleaning service owner, I know that the most popular frequency that people have us come out is every 2 weeks. And so what they'll typically do is maintain in between appointments, but then the real clean happens when we come at the every 2 week mark. So hopefully that one makes sense right there. But basically, manage your expectations and adjust to life as is right now. Okay. It doesn't matter about what you used to do. What do you need to do right here, right now to keep this house clean, right? New you, new house, new routines, all that. Let the old go. Now, tip number two is get the basics under control, right? So that would be dishes. And you did mention that you pretty much have the kitchen on lock, which is excellent. But from there, we've got trash, we've got toilets, we've got laundry, and clutter, of course, just picking up those typical things. So don't focus so much on dusting and ceiling fans and just more intensive type things. Do these basics here, the essentials that really keep everything together, and then you can slide into those outer chores and outer tasks. Okay. Um, Tip number three, make the house easier to clean. So you need to decide, what does clean look like for you, right? Is a picture perfect house? That's what you're striving for. Typically, that's not going to work when you're home all day, every day, right? So you have to throw that one out the door. That kind of even goes back to, just managing our expectations. But with that being said, there are some things that you can do to make the house easier to clean so that it's less, less burden on your body as well as less time. So some very simple, quick things I thought of were removing the flat sheets from beds. So my kids, we have the fitted sheet on there, but just a blanket as well. And they are 5-inch sticks, but they're at the point now where they can just straighten up the blanket when they get out, fluff the pillow, and boom, that's it. Next would be something as simple as staying on top of your air filters just to cut down on the dust that's circulating throughout the house and landing on furniture. And then obviously, you already know minimalism, cut down on the clutter, literally cut down on the stuff that you have in the house. The less you have, the less that there is to clean. Okay. So stop the impulse purchasing if you're doing that. If you're on Amazon like me and just hitting that click, like don't, you got to stop for a minute, pause. All right. Let's start getting some stuff out. Let's start clearing some surfaces. If you need to, if you have very cluttered surfaces, just grab everything off of there, put it in a box. You can set the box right there beside that piece of furniture or whatever it may be, and then pull things out as you need it. And after about 30 days, whatever you haven't pulled out, you probably don't need, right? It doesn't need to be closer in the area. Those things can be boxed up, either thrown away, sorted, filed somewhere else out of sight. But nonetheless, you can quickly, if you want to be ruthless about it, be ruthless. Go ahead and make those changes, clear things off. But that was tip 3, make your house easier to clean. Tip number 4, everybody in the house should be helping to clean. It is not just your responsibility to clean the house. You have a family. The family is supposed to help keep the house up, right? You and your husband both work from home. You are taking the position of a teacher throughout the day, right? That is your job throughout the day. Therefore, you work from home just like your husband works from home. When you guys get off from work, boom, we have things that we need to do to get the house in order. And again, that's both of you. The children as well. These are things you're not helping them at all by sparing them from doing chores if that's what you're doing. So make sure that they're doing age appropriate things and even challenge them, right? So it could be as simple as making sure that they're putting their clothes in the hamper, right? You just need to make sure there is a hamper and that you've put it in the right spot. But then from there, train them, make sure that they're doing that. Make sure they're putting shoes away when they come in through the door. Where is the spot for shoes to go, right? Make sure that you stay on top of this every day, as in making them take those actions, do those chores religiously so that eventually it becomes a habit. And then, of course, like I said, make sure your partner is also tackling chores. And this is always like a touchy subject because everyone has their different views on this. But in my mind, if you have someone that like literally refuses to do any type of impactful chores, right? So let's say they just want to take out the trash, like, okay, anyone can do that. That literally takes 10 seconds, right? It's not that big a deal. You didn't help that much. So I need you to take on something that's, heavier hitting, and that could be laundry, right? So one partner has the job of laundry, and it's like, boom, I've got everything else. I literally hate laundry so much. I would rather do everything else than do the laundry. So with that being said, if they do not want to do something that's impactful, then that's going to lead into my next tip, which is hiring someone to come and do those things that either can't do or literally don't have the time to do, or even just don't want to do. That's perfectly fine too. So we have a lot of clients that hire us to come and do just their floors, right? Or bathrooms and floors. And they may do that twice a week. And that definitely is a game changer for them, makes their life easier. So if that partner does not want to give up their time to do their chores or the energy to do the chores, then the next one is, well, they just need to give up a little bit of that money so that we can get someone in here to do those chores, right? I'm just saying, I think that's fair, but that's just me. I'm just a random person on the internet. I'm not trying to break up anybody's happy home. Next up, tip number 5 would be blocking off areas in the house throughout the day so that you guys are not everywhere just creating, disaster zones everywhere. Okay. So once you and your kids get ready for the school day, and you leave the bedrooms, it's not bouncing back and forth to our rooms for this and that and wherever, right? And again, this may not apply to you. I don't know what your homeschool setup is, but just in case it's not, just make sure you have true designated areas and the rest of the house is truly off limits. So I like to think of this as if I had hired someone to come in to teach the kids, what would they be doing throughout the day? What areas would they be in? And I try to adopt that same structure for myself throughout the day as the person that may be teaching the kids or home with the kids, right? So don't be all loosey-goosey with it just because you know them, because you're their mother. No, act like you're a professional that has come to the home. You're a visitor. You need to keep these kids from going all over the place. Hope that makes sense. And last one, definitely, and this would be tip number 6. Make sure your morning routine and evening routine are like a religion for you. Okay, that's going to be super solid for you to make sure that you're getting the right things done at the right time and making sure your days run smoothly. And so I always talk about this. It's called framing your day. A lot of times we don't have any control over what goes on in the middle of the day, but that beginning, as soon as you wake up out the bed, you have control over that first 30 minutes, right? And same as in the evening, once the kids are down, make sure that you have a very intentional set of things that you do to wind down or wrap up the day. Within those two time frames, you can seriously, tackle laundry. Me personally, I like to start a load of laundry in the morning when I get up. Then in the evening would typically be when I tackle that. Okay, when I actually fold it or hang everything up and put it away. Just one load a day, right? Not too much. I don't like sitting down with just a mountain of laundry behind me having to put away at once. So, do it in a way that works for your personality, of course, but same thing, you could dust, 10 minutes. It literally takes no time to do a lot of these chores once you break down what the actual chores are and see that you can actually get a lot done in 10 or 15 very intentional focused minutes. So hopefully that helps. Definitely let me know. You can email me back or leave a comment below. And with that being said, I invite anybody else. If you need help, you can always email me. I definitely invite you to check out the Chaos Control Challenge. That will be so helpful for a lot of you that are struggling and have had a long-term issue with mess, clutter, and chaos at home. I promise you guys it goes through the basic things, those missing links that I promise you have not thought of that will impact how you're able to just keep up with everything finally and just have a sense of confidence and truly be able to feel like, okay, wow, this is everything's clicking now finally. Okay, life is not about just waking up to clean or just taking care of the kids, right? I did it in such a way that you can get the mess, clutter, and chaos under control and build your dream life at the exact same time, a more fulfilling life, all right? And it just takes 30 minutes a day for 7 days. It's like a little workshop or whatever. But like I said, it's going to give you a lot of those very basic concepts that we just often don't talk about here on, well, just anywhere, right? So with that being said, I invite you to check that out and definitely stay tuned for the next video.